A very good morning, Dr. Rama. So today I'm going to talk about the insight of the first wave of COVID-19 in Malaysia. Before we get started, let me give some introduction, which is this project will look into the insight of the cases of COVID-19 between March and May 2020 in Malaysia, which is the trend of cases in Malaysia from different aspects. So let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Yeo Song Jie, and my matrix number is CD19082, and I'm from section 2A. So for the first part of the slide is source of the data. For the source of the data, all the data is obtained from the data world, and also the data inside the dataset is updated by the Ministry of Health Malaysia. And the collection of data is using the report from all the government hospital and clinics in every state of Malaysia. So below is the link of the data. So next is the organization chosen. The Ministry of Health Malaysia, which abbreviated MOH, is the organization which I've chosen. And this is a Ministry of Government of Malaysia that is responsible for health system. The Ministry of Health should know the insight of the cases of COVID-19 in order to cooperate with the Ministry of Defense Malaysia to trace or to cut the chain of the spread of infection in Malaysia. So next is the problem to be solved. So for the first problem is outbreak of COVID-19 is not fully under control. The relationship of positive cases and patient under investigation PUI and close contact CC positive cases to take a necessary action in order to control this pandemic in Malaysia. Secondly, is increasing number of cases in certain states. This will lead to the expansion of the infection cluster from one state to another state. And thirdly, is increasing of the number of death cases. The related department is unable to track which is the high-risk group and do some action on it. For the fourth problem is the unknown patient information. And patient information is important, will help the society and the related department, which is the organization, to track who is the high-risk group. And the last problem is increasing death cases and the positive cases. The related department, which is organization, needs to take what action and how effectively to control the outbreak of the COVID-19 in Malaysia. So next part of the slide is dashboard. So for my dashboard, my title is the first wave of COVID-19 in Malaysia. So I have 5 graphs inside my dashboard, and in the design of my dashboard, I only use 2 colors to achieve the consistency of the color in dashboard. So next, here's the link of my dashboard. And now I'm going to talk about how my dashboard works. So we've come to the explanation of the dashboard. So first, we can see the first graph is the scattered plotted graph, and I use this graph to do my regression analysis. So based on my analysis, the null hypothesis is that the independent variable, which is the PUI and CC positive cases, will influence the dependent variable, which is positive cases, because the R square value here is height, which is achieved 0.98 something. This means that the positive cases and PUI-CC positive cases have a strong relationship, and also most of the data is near with the regression line, and we have one data here which is out of the line, and we call this as the error or the not true data. So in conclusion, in this graph, the PUI and CC positive cases maybe is the main cluster for the positive cases. So for the second graph is gender and average age of the patient. As you can see, male is higher than female in terms of number of patient and also average age, both is higher. So in conclusion, we can see that male is the high risk group, which has the higher probability will get infected by COVID-19. So for the third graph is death cases. So as the result, also male is higher than female, which is the death cases of male is 89 and the female only 26, and the average age is most of the same. So as the result, male is always the high risk group for getting infected and also will lead to the death. And also maybe the immune system of the male is not capable enough to fight with the COVID-19 virus. So for the next graph is about the positive cases and death cases over the time. As you can see, the positive cases and death cases is increasing dramatically over the time in these 2 months. So in conclusion, in this graph, the organization must need to take action to stabilize one of the variables such as positive cases. So if the number of positive cases is down, then only the death cases will drop simultaneously because these two variables have a strong relationship. So last but not least is the positive cases growth for every state. So as you can see, the Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur achieved 2,028 number of cases in the end of May, and by following is Selangor, which is 1,909. So the others will not over the thousand number of cases. So in conclusion, the organization must take the targeted action just for the state have the higher number of positive cases, and this will control the spread of the infection from each state to another state before it's too late. So that's all from the explanation for my dashboard. So we have come to conclusion. So in conclusion, we have three questions. For the first question, my answer is based on the dashboard created. My opinion is the organization needs to take action and cooperate with other organizations to decrease the number of positive cases and track the high-risk group. Ministry of Health is our last defense line over the COVID-19. So for the second question, my suggestion is that the organization should identify the right data source, avoid overloading data, and review the data. This may increase the quality of data because data is the bond and is the major thing for the data analytic. While the data is fully reliable, then only will come up the more accurate analysis of data. Next, for the third question, in my opinion, this is a tough journey along with this subject. At first, I interest in how to deal with the data, which is data analytic and visualization. But in the middle of this subject, I'm pretty sure I was not able to think critically and be going through a hard time. I spent more time doing more research and try to understand all of the aspects. At the end of this subject, I think I have mostly achieved it, and I hope I can done it successfully. So that's all for me. Thank you.